Struggling to quit porn is really difficult and it's quite easy to fall into a trap. The trap is that you start to believe that there's something wrong with you, that you are a failure, that you're not worthy and deserving of love and connection. You may start to think that your sexual desires are out of control, but I really want to get across in this video that all of that is not true. And actually those sort of thought patterns, those beliefs are just thoughts, they are just beliefs, they are not permanent and they're definitely not true at all. They're false. So I used to have these sort of self-limiting beliefs thinking, well, I've tried to quit for so many years and I've been unable to do so. So there must be something inherently wrong with me down to the core. But I then learned that actually I'd just been attempting to quit in the wrong way. I had consumed a lot of information online, which wasn't actually helping me. In fact, I even joined online communities to try and quit, but that was keeping me in the mindset of an addict. That was keeping me focused on the problem and not the solution. And so a lot of advice and help out there on the internet can actually be detrimental when you're trying to quit porn. What we want to do is shift our focus away from the problem and more towards the actual solutions. And a life free of porn is not a life thinking about trying to quit porn. A life free of porn is a life where you're focused on your goals and real connections with people. And so there's just a total mindset shift which we need to undertake to quit porn for good. And wherever you are in your journey, I just want you to know that there's absolutely nothing wrong with you for struggling to quit porn. Now, you may have overcome this problem already, and maybe you're just watching this to kind of continue on a path towards freedom and to grow in life in other ways as well. But if you're not quite there yet and you do feel like you have a problem with porn, then I just want you to know that's okay, and we are going to get to a place where you are able to quit, or at least feel a lot more confident in your ability to quit. So what happens when you are struggling, when you have maybe looked at sexual content quite recently, is that your dopamine and opioid receptors are going to be quite negatively impacted, and so the everyday activities in life are not going to feel quite as fun. So your brain will need to rewire essentially, and I think there's a lot of things that can help us rewire our brain. But in this video, I really want to just get across this message that there's literally nothing wrong with you, and that if we cultivate a mindset in thinking that there's something wrong with us, then it is going to be really difficult to quit. So if we believe that we can quit porn, it's going to be a lot easier to quit. And I guess you wouldn't be here watching this if you didn't believe deep down that this is a problem that you can overcome. The other thing I really want to get across is that it's not your fault that you've ended up having a problem or struggling to quit porn. And I say that because let's think about it quite rationally. Like 100 years ago, people didn't struggle to quit porn anywhere near as much as they do today. And it's not like there's just this sudden, like, weird coincidence that there's millions and millions of people around the world who are suddenly struggling with this because of their genetics. No, like, absolutely not. What's happened is that our external world, our society, has basically been set up now for young guys to struggle with this problem. Not everyone, but there's like undoubtedly going to be people struggling to quit porn when you have sexual content everywhere and you live in an incredibly overstimulating world with pressure, responsibility, and a lack of connection with real people, because nowadays everyone is like focused on their phone and just trying to make money, and it just all seems very superficial to me in a way. And so it is harder to connect with real people. And if you have an alternative that's incredibly easy, that's free, how on earth is porn as accessible as it is? How is it free? How is it available to people under the age of 18 so that their brain gets addicted to it when they're 12 years old? You know, this is not your fault. It's not your fault. And I'm passionate about this because it has had such a negative impact on my mental health over the last 8 years. I mean, I'm overall in a really good place now and quite happy with who I am, but that's not to say that I haven't suffered because of this. And that's not to say that I'm perfect either at quitting porn. There are days when I struggle because my brain has these neural pathways which are associated dopamine, the reward circuit, and this huge evolutionary reward all together with sexual content. And that's not really my fault, because I was never taught how to quit it. I was never taught the dangers of it. And it was prevalent throughout my teens. It was everywhere. It was ubiquitous. And as a kid, as a teenager, when you have no idea about the harms of it and all your friends are looking at it and telling you to look at it, I mean, what do you expect? What do you actually expect? So yeah, it's not your fault. There's absolutely nothing wrong with you. And, you know, I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated that people, including myself, can often blame themselves for this problem and feel a lot of guilt and shame. Just a point on shame as well. People often think that they're disgusting or that they're not worthy, they're not deserving of love and connection because they've looked at something which doesn't actually align with their true, deeper values. Well, what happens when we're looking for sexual content is, first of all, our reward circuitry ends up wanting more and more novelty. Novelty is a huge thing here. Reward prediction error is massive. So if you come across something that's a little bit different, that's going to result in dopamine increasing even further. The other thing is that anxiety, shame, stress, surprise, all of those sort of things release different neurotransmitters, things like norepinephrine, and that actually elevates dopamine levels even more. So the reason you're looking at progressively novel sexual content is because of, one, tolerance, but then also because those kind of things actually elevate your dopamine response even further. And so it's totally natural for you to have looked at stuff which you're maybe not proud of, because that's just how the reward circuitry works. What's not fair is the fact that all of that content is out there, so accessible, and that people are making it to try and get your attention and to elevate your dopamine levels. So yeah, it's just not your fault. And I know I've been a little bit more emotional in this video. I know I've been maybe more passionate in this video than some other ones, but it's just got to a point for me where I'm frustrated that so many people out there are struggling with this problem and then blaming themselves for struggling with it, when actually it's kind of due to the external factors, and there is hope, and every single person watching this video could quit porn for the rest of their lives, like literally, and never look at anything like that ever again. But it just takes a bit of work. It takes some rewiring of the brain. It takes a shift in our mindset, our thoughts, our perspective, and it takes a growth mindset. So I don't want to sort of put all the responsibility on the external world, because we are the ones at the end of the day who are now responsible for overcoming this problem, and it's 100% our responsibility to quit porn. However, I don't think it is 100% our fault that we ended up in this situation to begin with. So yeah, it's just a problem we have to overcome. I hope this video has been useful. Join the Discord community if you want more people to talk with, including myself. Go and check out my live event coming up very soon, and also check out the online course, £9.99, if you are interested in further support on quitting porn. I do also offer some coaching, so you can apply for free consultation, and we may have a chat and just discuss where you are at now and where you want to be. So thanks for watching this video, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.